to the Dillweed Society Film Podcast. My name is Max, and my favorite movie is Moonstruck.
My name is Isabella, and my favorite movie is the Barkley Marathons.
Ooh, good one.
That's one of Dad's favorites, too.
I know, that. I remember that's what... He likes the documentaries.
So do I. Have there been any good ones this year?
Crip Camp came out last year,
Last year, yeah. I think that won an Oscar.
Everyone said that was awesome.
Oh, you know what is one, though? There's one in theaters called The Fire of Love or something, and I really want to see it, but it's hard to get to a theater. It's about these two... I think they're married, and then they go, volcano hunting, kind of. I don't know the logistics of it, but it looks very much up my alley, so I can't wait to see that. But this week, we are talking about I Want You Back, which is a 2022 rom-com starring Jenny Slate and Charlie Day and Gina Rodriguez and that guy from The Good Place, right?
It is. That's... What's the actor's name?
Manny Jacinto?
Yeah, he plays, the fool in The Good Place.
Yeah, he was hilarious in that. So there's a bunch of, really famous comedians in this, which we'll get to. But first, I'm gonna read you all a summary. Horrified to learn that the loves of their lives have already moved on, Peter and Emma hatch a hilarious plan to win back their exes with unexpected results. Max, what were your overall thoughts?
Overall, I thought that this was a really fun rom-com that didn't, feel too tropey, surprisingly.
Yeah. It's, one of those rom-coms that just feels like it knows what everyone wants out of a rom-com. It's not too much comedy, it's not too much romance, it's the perfect balance. I'm just really happy that films like this are continually being made throughout the years, because I love rom-coms. They have a bad rap, but I think there's something really unique about them as a genre.
Yeah, definitely. What was the other rom-com that we did this year?
Did we do another rom-com?
Yeah, hold on. Let me just...
Good Luck to You. That wasn't a comedy, though. Good Luck to You, Leo Grand, we did, but...
Because I remember talking with you about how there was a rom-com that came out this year that sort of, revitalized the rom-com world.
I think it was this one, because we've only ever done
Oh,
Doctor
you're
Strange.
so right.
Yeah, okay, so both of us saw this a few months back, so this is one of the first ones that I actually recommended on the podcast in our recommendation segment.
That's the discussion I remember us having.
Yeah. Ever since I've seen it, I was like, I want everyone I know to see it. Max, did you rewatch this for today's pod?
I scrubbed through it.
Yeah. I got halfway. And it's basically just it starts out and they both get dumped in hilarious and kind of sad ways. How do they meet each other? They meet each other in a stairwell because they both work in the same duplex or whatever it is, office.
Right, and he works on the top floor, trying to exploit elderly people.
I know the meeting he was in. I was it's a little too on the nose, but I feel I'll give it a pass. And she works. What does she do for her job?
She's a receptionist at a dentist office, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they meet each other crying in the stairwell. At first they're you just gotta move on. But then they're what if we try to get back our exes? They each hatch a plan. So Jenny Slate is gonna seduce his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah, who's a theater teacher at the middle school she works at. And she dumped him because he was not worldly enough, I guess is what she was saying.
Yeah, he doesn't do things.
Right. And then, so the plan to get, to break up Jenny Slate's, what are their names? I never okay, so it's Emma is Jenny Slate and Peter is Charlie Day. This is the most basic names.
Their exes are Scott and Gina. Or sorry, no, Scott Eastwood and Gina Rodriguez, who play Noah and Anne.
Noah and Anne. They're the most...
Noah and Anne.
Generic names.
There are 6 main characters.
Yeah. Well,
Can we draw out the diagram first?
There's yeah. Who's
the two main,
sixth?
Their exes, and then their exes' new partners. Because each of them have already gotten together with someone new.
Yeah. Exactly.
Each of the exes, whereas the 2 main characters are still stuck on their exes.
There's also the subplot of that kid who Jenny Slate befriends, who's in the play. No, he's not in the play.
Oh yeah.
So when Jenny Slate is
his name is Trevor.
Trevor, yeah. So when Emma is working with Logan.
Logan, who is
the theater director.
Peter's ex's new partner who works at the same school that she works at.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So Emma's seducing Logan, and she has to work on the play that they're producing, which is Little Shop of Horrors. And there's a kid who got detention who has to work on the same play, and so she kind of befriends the kid, and they kind of have this friendship.
Yeah.
In my head, it's a straightforward plot, because there's like very basic beats of exposition, and like the build-up is like, it's just a very normal movie.
Yeah, because really it's these two main plots that they jump between.
Yeah.
That sort of intersect, because
right.
the goal was for Peter to figure out why Noah left and like what he is thinking about, but they had decided that Emma was going to try and seduce Anne's new boyfriend Logan.
Yeah. Which of the two plot lines do you find more intriguing?
I think that either one of them would have been boring alone. Mm-hmm. I really liked how different they were, and I almost expected, going into it with like the symmetry, I almost expected it to be like they both do the same things and the same things go wrong,
right?
Which would have been very boring.
Yeah,
but in fact, it's quite different.
But they have like an eye on each other, like they always like confer, and so each of the other person knows what the other person is doing, and I don't know, it's just like really fun to watch.
Right.
And the way that the different plots intersect feels very like fluid, like it doesn't feel choppy, and I think it could easily have felt that way.
Absolutely. And it gives a little reprieve from the plot lines as they're going on.
Yeah.
And it also reveals a lot about the two main characters and how different they are from each other.
Yeah, because they become friends and they learn more about each other. Like,
Peter's a very lonely person, we realize.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a good like self-esteem, really. Mm-hmm. Like when they bring up the idea that Peter could try and seduce Ginny, Noah's new girlfriend, he was like, nobody has ever wanted to date me.
And then that like releases them onto the through line of like what is it called, an airbag safety person, like the type of person who you would put an airbag on an airplane accident.
Yes.
Before yourself. And it also connects the she says like, you're the type of person who you're like the slow burn, like it takes a minute of time like for people to warm up to you, but once you're there, like you can't rip them away, and that kind of follows through. I thought that was like a really fun thing to include, like that idea of like an airbag safety person. Like,
I think about that every single time I go on a plane since I've seen this movie.
Really?
I've thought about that.
How many times do you go on planes?
The type of person. I've been on a plane twice since I saw this movie.
Okay.
And yeah, before we go into more specifics, I guess, I really like the way that a good rom-com can explore lots of different emotions, like a very wide gamut of emotions, because it's this like incredibly heart-stopping tragedy that usually starts a rom-com, or that it happens in the late half of a rom-com. But then there's also comedy running through it, and also like romance involved. Yeah. And so you've got all of these like widely different emotions that that the actors have to go through. I think that is like, of genres, it is one of the more emotionally intense genres, which you wouldn't expect, but this movie does a really good job of like leaning into that.
Yeah, I think people tend to like pin rom-coms in sort of like this unrealistic, I don't know, form of media, but I feel like rom-coms tend to be somewhat reflective of like everyday life, you know, like with the span of emotions that a lot of people have to go through every week, day, year.
But yeah, like we were talking about, there have been other rom-coms that have come out in the past 10 years, and maybe we can talk about this a little bit more towards the end, but I think that this does a really uniquely good job at letting the characters feel all the different emotions very powerfully within the film.
Yeah.
And using the scenarios to emphasize that. Like one of the most comedic things that sort of breaks up the initial sadness in the movie is the audience realizing that Emma still lives with like 2 college students who really hate her.
Yeah. Did you notice who the actors were?
No.
Well, I only know one of them actually, but the girl was the girl from Shithouse. She's the main. You've never seen it?
I never saw that. I never saw Shithouse.
It's Cooper Raiff's first film.
I
you
know
love
it's like
Cha Cha
his
Real
film,
Smooth.
yeah. I didn't love Cha Cha Real Smooth.
You liked it a
was
lot
good.
more than me. I will say that. I did not love
That's
that
true.
movie, but Shithouse, I will say, is better from what I remember. I think it was really good. But yeah, so she lives with these 2 college students because she just figured that she would sort out her life and like what she wants to do before moving out, and that just never happened. So her character, she's very like kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I think that's true of both of them. Like both of them talk about how they're not in what they want to do in their life. Like he wants to, what he said was like revolutionize like the way that we care for elderly people.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't know what she wants to do.
I think that she has a better opinion of herself than he has of himself.
Yeah.
Like she is a much more confident person than he is.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean she's any more or any less stuck in.
Right, like her
life.
life is still.
Yeah.
Objectively, like, I mean, he is like further ahead in his career than she is. But he's also like a lot more depressed because his career is basically exploiting people, vulnerable people.
It's basically like the evil version of what he actually wants to do.
Exactly. We have not talked about any of the actual plot after the premise yet. We haven't talked about anything that actually happens past like 20 minutes into the movie.
Okay, well, oh my gosh, you know what we should talk about in the plot?
What's that?
Well, I guess, like, I feel like we just explained, like, the plot is the premise. Like, they go through hijinks to get back their exes. But,
yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on the play plotline. Because isn't Little Shop, like, your favorite play?
It's like my favorite. Yeah, it's basically my favorite play. I think it's in my S tier musicals list. The huge smile that spread across my face when they started singing Suddenly Seymour. You just had to be there.
I can't believe they put that in the movie.
It's also such like a dumb song, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like the whole thing. The song is made to be comedic or like parodying, but there's also an emotional truth to it. And I think that that's also like that's similar to this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And the fact that like so she has to like stand in for what's the main character in Audrey. So she has to step in to play Audrey because she lied and said that she played Audrey like before. And so she does the rehearsal and she sings Suddenly Seymour because she's surrounded by like
and she's playing with like he's like half her height. Yeah. Which is also part of the play is that Seymour's supposed to be
that's true.
Like way shorter.
That's true. Yeah. That's really funny and like dorky.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the fact that she sings that song and the Logan is like, oh my god, you moved me with that performance. I was completely moved. And then that leads them to go on a date with Gina Rodriguez's character.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Anne? Yeah, Anne.
Anne.
They go on a date with Anne, and is she the one who proposes the threesome?
What's his name? I'm pretty sure that
Logan?
It was between Logan and Emma who like talk about it. Yeah. I think Logan is the one who suggests it, and then Ginny is like, yeah, I want to be more daring, and so she like convinces herself to go along with it, but she's just like very uncomfortable with the whole thing. And
then while they're doing that, not Noah.
He is
Perry?
No,
Barry? Peter is with Noah, and they're at like a really like
it's like a club
that Peter and that Noah and Emma used to go to this bar, and so he was like, oh, let's go here and like have some fun and like, you know, to try and get Noah to open up. But it only pushes Noah further away, right? Because he's like, oh, I can't do this anymore. Like, this night made me realize that I'm gonna actually propose to Ginny. And so, yeah, there's like that sequence where they go to the house of like, who they find out is a high schooler. It's like pretty gross. 3 high schoolers invite,
but then their dad shows up and their dad is like, you guys can't keep doing this.
Okay, but in that scene though, Peter is forced, he's like peer pressured to like be adventurous, and I think that was like the point in which he was like, okay, I've gone past what I've needed to do, and that kind of progresses his self-esteem, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And it also, that point of development for him in this is part of why he ends up back with his ex in the last third of the movie. Mm-hmm. And Emma doesn't. Remember 6 Names challenge? Impossible.
Literally.
That's
the only one I can
right
remember
now.
Is Ginny, because it's a cool name.
Peter. And she's like not even an important character.
I know. Ginny has like the least amount of lines, like before Trevor even. Mm-hmm. Anyway, what did you think of Trevor's storyline? Trevor's the little kid.
Oh, the little kid.
Who, yeah. And
yeah, I don't know why they put it in, but I think, maybe it gave Jenny's character more to do emotionally, because Charlie's character had this moment with facing his fears.
I think it like allowed her to find some road that she wants to go on. Like, I forget how it ends with what she decides she wants to do, but I think it's something to do with like children, like helping children or something like that.
Yeah.
Because she kind of is Trevor's counselor. What is it? His father is having an affair
with someone else. Yeah. Well, there's the joke in the middle where he's like, my dad's having an affair with a man. And then Jenny's like,
oh, yeah.
Are the other kids at school bullying you because your dad's gay? And he's like, no,
he's
why would that
always
happen?
been gay. he has an affair. He like cheated on my other dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny.
It was a good joke.
Yeah, so I thought it was good. It gave like it gave her, it did give her something to do, but I think it added to her development.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh, and then it all comes together in the wedding scene, right? Because Noah is marrying Ginny.
Noah's marrying Ginny.
Which he decides on after the nightclub experience. And so they all get invited to the wedding because, remember, now Noah's friends with Peter, right. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna invite you to my wedding. And then he invites his ex, too. And so they all meet up at the wedding, and
Peter is, at that point, back together with
Ginny.
not Ginny.
I got it confused because
Gina Rodriguez. With Anne. Peter and Anne get back together because of the two of them, only Jenny Slate is successful in getting Peter's ex back together with him. Whereas like Peter fails to do so for Jenny.
Yes.
And so they all come to the wedding and everything is working out okay for Peter, and Jenny's character, Emma, is still like basically like nothing good has happened to her.
Right.
Like she went through all of that and like didn't get anything out of it, and now she doesn't talk to Peter anymore, her new friend, because they can't know.
That's when she kind of realizes that she might be a little jealous of them, right? Mm-hmm. So she's kind of left down on her luck, and so he tries to talk to her at the wedding, and then Anne knows Emma because of the threesome experience, and so Anne sees Peter talking to Emma and is like, do you know this person?
Right, because we forgot one other thing.
Yeah.
Emma brings Logan as her plus one to the wedding.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so all of the main characters are at the wedding, but
they're all there.
The two who are married don't know, or the two people who are getting married don't know about the agreement between the two main characters, Emma and Peter.
Yeah.
And Peter can't let the person that he's dating now, his ex, no longer ex, know that he knows Emma.
Yes.
So they have to keep everything secret.
Yeah. And
and obviously they don't.
No, like Peter finally realizes like that he needs to leave her because Anne like says like some one-off comment about like him like not being able to pursue his dreams or something like that. And he's like, whoa, this is what you think of me? Like, and then he realizes like Emma believed in him. Like Jenny Slate believed in him all along. Right. Yeah, because Emma's studying to become a school counselor, right? Yes, that's what she realizes.
I didn't
she has
remember
like
that
her life ahead of her. Then Peter breaks up with Anne. Emma apologizes to Noah. Oh my gosh. You remember how it ends?
Yes, I do remember how it ends. I remember exactly how it ends.
So if you don't want to hear exactly how it ends, you can skip like 5 minutes. But basically...
They all get kicked out of the wedding first.
Well,
That's
they
the
all
first
get
thing
kicked out of the wedding. But also, Peter and Emma are on a same flight home because it was a destination wedding. So they're on the same flight home. And then there's turbulence. And Peter freaking puts the mask on Emma before himself, which is the air mask safety person. And then I think they smile at each other and then it ends. I think that's how it ends. I think that's such a perfect ending. Like,
yeah, it doesn't say that they get together, but it does show that like he definitely cares about her.
Yeah.
And he feels like
it shows their love for one another. Yeah.
Definitely. It was kind of a When Harry Met Sally moment.
Why?
In the movie, because
Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that movie, I think everyone agrees they shouldn't have gotten together at the end of the movie, right? Like everyone who's seen that movie is like, why did they have to get together at the end of it? Because the whole point is them like talking about not getting together, and that sort of happens with this movie where you start the movie and you're like, oh well, they both broke up with someone, they're gonna end up together,
right?
And the whole movie is like neither of them are interested in each other.
Yeah.
Like it's just taken as a fact, and then at the end they switch it around. But I think that this does leave it ambiguous enough that they could just be friends, like, who care about each other a lot.
Right, yeah, for sure. But yeah, so that's the plot of the movie. And we talked a little bit about the characters. Oh, what did you think of the cast? Like, Charlie Day and Jenny Slate.
I really liked the ensemble component of the cast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that any one of their performances was, like, incredible. I think that they all did a pretty good job of doing what they had to do, which was being comedic while also like showing other emotions. I thought that they portrayed the emotions of their characters quite well, but I don't think that any of their dialogue delivery was like it like jumped from being acting to being real for me.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed both of their performances. I like that they're both first and foremost comedians. Like, Jenny Slate is one of my favorite comedians. I've watched, like, I have her book on my bookshelf back there. I didn't really watch Always Sunny, so I wasn't as familiar with Charlie Day. I like him a lot more now than I did.
Yeah. I don't think that he wrote this.
Oh, I doubt that
he was one of the writers on It's Always Sunny, and I think that his writing is really hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this doesn't sound like him.
Not
from my experience of his writing.
Not really.
Yeah, he has a funny voice, you know?
I know.
He's got a little squeaky, raspy voice.
Squeaky. So does she. They both have funny voices. But I loved their dynamic together. I really believed in their friendship. Is he a short king? How tall is he?
Let's go on celebrityheight.com and
Charlie say height.
5'5" and 3/4 of an inch.
He's 5'5"?
Yeah, he's a short king.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
He's got a good energy for a 5'5"
He's married to Mary Elizabeth Ellis.
Who's that?
She was in that movie that I literally just saw. Hold on, what is that?
Oh, she's one of the other main characters on It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, she is. But she was also in... Oh, she's in New Girl. And I've been rewatching New Girl. So that's where I know her from. Yeah, anyway. How tall is Jenny Slate? My guess is she's 5'1". You guess right now.
Why should I guess?
Yeah.
My guess is that she is 5'4".
She is 5'4". Wow.
Wow, what do I win?
Wow. Pride. Do you have anything else to say about this wonderful, wonderful movie?
I was thinking about comparing this to other rom-coms that have come out in the past few years.
Did you think of any?
The examples... Yeah, because I've seen a lot of rom-coms in the past few years. Have you?
Yeah, I love rom-coms.
I've seen all 3 of the Kissing Booth movies.
Okay, well, that doesn't really count.
What do you mean
That's
that doesn't
like a
count?
Netflix
You can't say that
movie.
doesn't. All of the rom-coms that have come out lately have been Netflix rom-coms.
You know my favorite rom-com that's come out in the past few years?
What's that?
Palm Springs.
Yo, Palm Springs is the last good rom-com.
The last good rom-com, for real.
The Big Sick, Crazy Rich Asians, Palm Springs.
Those are kind of older.
The last 3. Exactly. But like last year, for example, we had To All the Boys I've Loved Before, which is another Netflix rom-com. I feel like Netflix rom-coms have dominated. It is the first Netflix rom-com.
Yeah, for sure.
That adaptation of Cyrano de Bergerac, the half of it.
Oh, I hate that movie. Sorry. It was at that point, that was the movie where I was like, Netflix has too much money. They need to do something else, because this is not it. I hated it. Sorry.
That's okay.
I just feel like I say I hate a lot of movies. I just have immediate reactions to things. And sometimes I don't have a filter. So, you know what else I saw? That it was a rom-com? Like, it's not a com, I guess. It's just a romance that came out this year.
It's a rom.
It's a rom. Yeah. It's called Purple Hearts. It's getting horrible reviews because it's like a military movie.
Okay.
It's about this girl who like has to fake a marriage with the military, with this guy in the military, so she can get insulin. But it's starring the girl that was in Descendants, because I freaking love her, Sophia Carson. And I love her, but God, this movie sucks. But it's a romance, like it's a 2022 romance, and it's on Netflix if you want to see it. Why not? Dude, have you ever seen What If?
What If, the TV show?
No, the movie with Daniel Radcliffe. I know you love Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? I watched it the other day.
No.
It's actually really cute. I liked it a lot.
He kills it. He's such a fun actor to watch.
And it's got Adam Driver in it too. Like,
it has
randomly.
Adam Driver in it?
Adam Driver. It's the clip of him where he's like, nachos. That clip. You know that clip?
Does he say good soup in that movie?
I don't think that's the movie, no.
Good soup?
No, because he's not really a main character. But,
okay.
I would recommend it's on Amazon, but it came out in 2013, so this is kind of like way back.
I'm excited.
Zoe Kazan, she was in The Big Sick. Yeah, she's the girl in The Big Sick. And that was great, too. That was pretty good. I should have rewatched that.
You should rewatch that. I'm probably going to rewatch that.
I'm going to rewatch that tonight.
Did you know Scott Eastwood is Clint Eastwood's grandson? He looks just like him.
Of course he's Clint Eastwood's grandson. Oh my god.
You look at a picture of him, and it's like, damn. You're like your grandfather, but you have 2020 haircut.
Yeah.
Like, it's if you took Clint Eastwood and pushed him like 50 years into the future. It's like the same guy. He's giving me the ick because it's Armie Hammer vibes.
Yeah, I noticed that. He is big time Armie Hammer vibes. But like, I still watch Social Network. And there's 2 of them. Did he get paid double, do you think?
Is that your top Armie Hammer movie? No, he can't have gotten paid double.
I wonder. No, because he had to play himself. Roles. He played 2 roles.
He had to play 2 roles.
Do you think he did?
You think he got paid more than Jesse Eisenberg?
No.
For that
but
movie?
Maybe more than Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, who has more dialogue?
Did you like Call Me by Your Name?
Yeah.
I always forget that it's about a gay relationship. Because it's like the most straight movie that I've ever seen about a gay relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you mean? What are you talking about?
Like Timothée Chalamet, straight as
neither of the actors.
The actors are like the straightest of straights.
But the yearning, the not knowing.
I guess. I like the one thing about that movie that I like. Well, I like a few things in that movie, to be frank. I don't mind that movie. But I like the scene with the dad at the end. I like his speech that he gives. I have a Letterboxd list of like I think it's called The Art of the Dad Speech. And it's a bunch of movies with I think I made it on Father's Day. It's got
Michael Stolberg. He's like the Jewish dad and everything. He's the best. I love that actor. He's the star of A Serious Man.
It's him and what's his name?
Is it the dad?
I really gotta think about what I say before I start saying it. Yes.
The dad in Shiva Babies and everything.
Yeah, that guy.
Let me find his name. Let me put some respect on his name. Danny DeFari. No, wait, that can't be him. No, that's her sugar daddy. Because I looked up Shiva Baby Dad.
No.
Fred Melamed. That's his name, Fred Melamed.
Fred. Have you ever seen Boy?
No.
It's one of Taika Waititi's first films, and it's really, really, really good. Really good. Okay, here's my list. Boy is on there. Rushmore. Have you ever seen Rushmore?
Yeah, I saw Rushmore.
Low key, one of my top Wes Anderson films, and that's like his second film. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked it. Maybe it's because it has that one song that I really like. It's the ending song. Why? Have you seen it recently? It's good.
It's been like 4 or 5 years since I've seen it.
I watched it last year, and I really liked it. Maybe I would change my mind if I saw it now, but from what I remember, I really liked it.
You know, I'm getting it confused with that movie about the high school, like, election movie.
Is it called Election? With Reese Witherspoon?
Yeah, it is.
I hate that movie.
It's the...
Our mom tried to make us watch that movie, and then she was like, oh, wait, I forgot everything that happened in this movie, and it's kind of bad.
It's kind of the worst, actually.
It's kind of the worst. You know, wait, here's another one that's on my list. Juliet Naked.
Juliet Naked?
That's a great movie. It came
Does
out...
Does that pair well with, like, Shakespeare in Love?
No, it's,
Oh, it's got... Yeah, I've seen this a long time ago. Hawke. It's got Chris O'Dowd in it.
Okay,
Ethan Hawke.
Tell me I'm not going crazy, but Ethan Hawke looks exactly like Kevin Bacon.
He does. He looks like Kevin Bacon with a beard.
But sometimes I see Kevin Bacon now, and I'm like, is that Ethan Hawke? Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt for the Wilder People's on that list. Despicable Me. 8th Grade. Yeah, there's a lot of great movies. I'll put this, I'll link this in our description for this podcast if you want to check out my list. Anyway, do you have any more thoughts on I Want You Back?
No, I think that's all my thoughts on it. I would say go see it. It is, like, really a feel-good movie. Like, you're not gonna be sad watching this.
It's a fun movie. It's on Amazon Prime, so please watch it. But we gotta give our ratings, so what would you rate this
Yeah,
film?
What would you... Oh, you got me before I got you.
I think it's the lag. I have an advantage.
I would rate this a 4 stars.
Me too. We agree on this one.
Okay.
Usually I'm like up. Usually I overrate things.
Normally you rate things higher than I do. Yeah.
But when I first saw this, I rated it 4.5. But watching it again today, I was like, it's a solid 4. It's really good. It's really good. Out of 5, if you're wondering. Yeah. Watch this movie.
Totally.
All right, now we're going to get into our recommendation section. Hi, everyone. I just wanted to pop in and remind you all that our website is being updated with a link to become associate to be able to nominate and vote on this year's films for our ceremony in February, as well as there's information about new movies coming out and our podcast episodes and a lot of other stuff. So you can find that at dillweedsociety.com and at Dillweed Society on Twitter and Instagram. Please get in contact with us if you want to be featured on the pod through our email, dillweedsociety@gmail.com, and feel free to share the pod or our website with your film friends. We'd love to hear from you or even have you on the pod. All right, now back to today's podcast. Max, do you have a recommendation this week, or should I go first?
I do. This week, I'm going to recommend another video essay. So the last video essay I recommended was Line Goes Up by Folding Ideas. This week, I'm going to be recommending The Hunger, which came out 2 weeks ago by ContraPoint. Sorry, 2 months ago. Pardon me.
Okay, I was like, that was a long time ago.
No, yeah, it came out in, I think, early July or late May of this year, or late June. Came out in either, I think, late June or early July of this year. The Hunger is a mixed media video essay about a dialogue between 2 different characters. In her normal style, ContraPoints explores interesting disagreements within modern American politics through Socratic dialogue brought into the modern day via the format. It's also quite humorous alongside that. There's a lot of breaks for sort of jokes or asides to the audience from different characters. And I think that it does a good job of iterating on her style.
Yeah.
The second half of it sort of breaks with her previous form and becomes more play-like. And I'm excited to see where she goes with this in the future.
Do you think we would categorize those as documentaries? We could make a special impermanent category for video essays, because there's been some pretty great ones this year alone.
Yeah. Honestly,
it's hard because they have their own genres within the category. So.
Like, I think that she makes both documentaries and plays.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, Envy, I would categorize as a documentary.
Yeah.
But this one is not primarily educational, primarily it's more of a like exploration of an idea through dialogue. It's only an hour long. It's on YouTube at ContraPoints. I totally recommend it. Bella and I watched it the night it came out.
Yeah, well, it ends on a cliffhanger, so there's that too.
It does. Yeah. I'm very sad about that.
This week I'm gonna recommend it's a semi-horror movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I usually hate horror movies, but it's a 2022, this is a debut film by Mimi Cave, I think. It follows Daisy Edgar Jones and her dating life, kind of, when she meets a guy played by Sebastian Stan who turns out to be a cannibal. And it's really interesting. It honestly has a lighter tone than I would expect for a movie like that. I watched it by myself, and like I had a good time while watching it, and I think it's written pretty well, and there's some good twists in there. I wouldn't say a fun watch, but it's interesting, and I was entertained. So it's called Fresh, and it's on Hulu.
Yeah, I've got to see that.
I don't know. I might nominate it for a few things, so you might have to see it. So yeah, but if you want to be featured on the pod, and you have a movie that came out this year, please contact us.
We have a new website URL. That's one big thing.
Oh, yeah.
You can now visit us at dillweedsociety.com.
Yeah.
Just go straight there, and that will get you to our website. You can see all sorts of stuff.
No, like, complicated long URL anymore. I'm sorry about that. It took us a long time to get there. But now you can just type dillweedsociety.com. And I've been updating the website. I think it looks pretty darn good. We have a new podcast page. You can find all of our resources on there.
It looks really cool.
But yeah, thank you for listening. We'll see you next Monday.